My name is Stetson Thacker. I'm a sophomore at Denison University. I'm an intern in the Science Internship Program, and my project is called Concussions in High School Athletes. Background. 3.8 million concussions occur in sports annually. Risk of short-term injury and death are especially important for younger athletes. Standards for concussion detection and safe return to play time need to be established. Impact is a tool that can be used to detect concussions and track recovery from them. My hypothesis is that if a group of concussed high school athletes ages 14 to 18 and a group of non-concussed high school athletes of the same ages are given the impact test, then the scores of the concussed high school athletes will be significantly lower for those concussed across all composite categories. Methods. Concussed athletes aged 14 to 18 that visit the Sports Health Center will be given and present with concussions will be given the impact test. Their scores will be recorded in the impact database. I then extracted the data from the impact database and organized it into a spreadsheet for analysis. I also extracted a matched group of non-concussed individuals from the impact database as well. The mean, standard deviation, and confidence interval from these data sets were calculated for both concussed and non-concussed groups. The mean composite scores of the concussed and non-concussed athletes were compared using a student's t-test. To validate this methodology, the norms for means and standard deviations of the impact scores for both concussed and non-concussed athletes were compared to our groups using a student t-test. Here's a graph of concussion and versus non-concussion group and their impulse control scores. Here's a picture of the concussion versus non-concussed group verbal scores, concussed versus non-concussed visual scores, concussed and non-concussed processing speed scores, concussed versus non-concussed symptom scores, concussed versus reaction time scores. As you can see from the table, there is only one significantly different value between the concussed and non-concussed groups, which was the symptom checklist. However, there were two statistically significant differences between the concussed norms and our concussed sample group. Conclusions. There's no significant difference between the verbal memory, visual memory, reaction time, and processing speed composite scores between our concussed and non-concussed athletes. There was a significant difference between the symptom scores of the concussed and non-concussed athletes, however, from the impact test. Thus, impact may not be a good tool to detect concussions or track recovery of memory, reaction time, and processing speed. Recommendations. We need to expand the sample size to identify if the current trends we are observing in our samples will truly be unchanged. We need to examine other types of neuropsychological post-concussive tests for efficacy in relation to impact. And we need to understand the etiology of each subject's concussion by determining the force and location of impact. Here are my references. And I would like to give a thank you to the Office of Civic Education Initiatives, the Lutheran Spine Lab, especially my mentor Adam Barch, the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Center, Brian Peirce, and Prasath Mageswaran. Thank you.